What's going on, everyone? Welcome or welcome back to the House of Stark. If this is your first time here, come on in, make yourself at home. We have snacks and fruit punch in the fridge. And if you are a returning subscriber, it's good to see you again. I've missed your face. Now, this video is a long time coming. I actually made a video like this on my 38th birthday last year, and I meant to make a follow-up video when I turned 39, but I completely forgot. Come on, work, pandemic, all of those good things. So I'm noticing that my old video, how I honestly feel about being 38 and single, is starting to, I guess, be picked up by the algorithm because I'm receiving comments on it, and it's over a year and a half old. And people are asking me for an update, a follow-up. Girl, have you found anybody? Please tell me. I'm in my mid-30s. What can I expect? And I'm a woman of the people. I give y'all what you want. So here I am to tell you how I feel about being nearly 40 and still single. I mean, if you read the title, you already know I love it here. I honestly, since 2021 has been a little better in terms of things being open, being able to spend time with people. That avenue has opened up, and it's been damn near life-changing for me. And I've had so much more fun. I think I'm really finally starting to enjoy living in California. I'm still having my struggles. My best friend and I are still having our struggles. But I really feel like for the first time there's hope on the horizon. Things are starting to come to fruition. The manifestations are manifesting. So I think the last time I made a video like this, I was not only single, but also practicing celibacy. I did not this year. That's the first update. I was not celibate. I've been celibate since, but in February, the celibacy ended. I had planned to make a whole video about my February fling. If you would like me to go more in depth about him and the whole situation, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Like I said, I'm here to make y'all happy. But long story short, there was this guy that I started following on TikTok. Most TikTokers have a link tree, so I followed him on Instagram as well. He posted a good morning selfie in his Instagram DMs. I slid into those DMs. All I said was good morning, and we started communicating back and forth. A couple weeks later, we're making plans for him to come up here so we can knock some boots. For real. He asked me, point blank, period, you realize this is strictly physical. And honestly, in that moment, I thought I could handle it. I'm like, you know what? I'm a grown woman. I know that I'm not going to date or take anybody seriously while I'm living in this desert. So, if somebody wants to come through and smash, I think I'd be okay with that. I was not. Now, I enjoyed myself. It happened twice. But afterwards, things got cloudy on his part. Like, we didn't even tell each other our real names, but he started trying to tell me his real name, and I'm like, wait a second. In my experience, when somebody wants to keep something strictly physical, guys forget that friends with benefits means that you have to be friends. Like we treat each other as friends who just happen to have sex with one another, It's like, but in the situations that I've been in, it's 9 times out of 10 that they just want to smash. They don't want to know anything about you. They don't want to know about your day. They don't want to know anything you're going through. They don't care how the job is. They're just there to get their rocks, and that's the end of it. Which is fine. I know a ton of people, that's how they vibe. That's how they live their lives. And like I said in other videos, we are pro-ho in this house. Please get yours. As long as you're safe, as long as it's consensual up in here. Who am I to tell anybody what to do with their body? So, like I said, I thought I could handle it. I honestly thought that I could handle being it, because I've been in situations like that before. I've been in situations where it was the guy's idea to strictly be friends with benefits. I've been in situations where it was my idea to be friends with benefits. I've been in situations where it's an ex and we decide to keep sleeping with each other until we find someone else. And it's only gotten messy once. It got messy when I went full hog and was like, listen, I'm gonna need you to come through. And then the dude got all in his feelings. Because I just said, I don't care. I just want to smash. But with this guy, it was like he was trying to get to know me without trying to make it obvious. And finally, I just stopped. I stopped speaking to him only because, well, for two reasons. I stopped reaching out to him because I noticed that I was the one always initiating conversation, and that's what led to my last relationship. So I was like, nah, we're good there. I don't need to do that. I don't need to subject myself to a one-sided whatever this is. And then I saw a TikTok that he stitched where he basically said that he doesn't want any woman of his venting to him. He doesn't want to hear about your problems unless you're coming to him for a solution, because he doesn't want his day ruined with your problems. I was like, I don't need to be dealing with somebody like that. But here's the funny thing. Over the last few months, I started noticing that he was still watching my IG stories. So this weird thing happened where I would see him watching my IG stories, and then I would watch some of his, and then he would watch mine, I'd watch some of his. Then out of nowhere, he messaged me. This was, I want to say, a couple months ago. But maybe about 2-3 months ago. He sent me a DM and we start talking. Everything's nice. We're actually having a conversation, like asking each other about our day, asking about what's been going on since we last spoke. It was really nice, actually. And then he asked me, well, he doesn't ask. He says, if you ever want to get down again, just let me know. And I had to keep it real. Because while we were playing around in February, I realized, I'm like, no, this isn't what I want. Like, I want to be excited about talking to somebody every day, but not just because I know that we're going to smash at some point. Like, I want somebody who wants me, who wants to care about and get to know me, all of me, not just the lady bits. I tell him this. I'm like, listen, I gotta keep it a buck with you. You helped me realize that I do not want a strictly physical relationship, situationship. I don't want that. I want an actual relationship. I want somebody I could potentially fall in love with. Like, I want that whole thing. I don't want just part of a thing. I want the whole thing. When I tell you, this man's tune and tone changed. It's like when you were talking to like one of your friends all dark and dirty, and then you realize your mom's on the other end. You're like, okay, well, thank you for the homework. I gotta go. Click. That's literally what, because he went into his customer service voice. When I said, I want all of it, not just part of it. And he was like, well, you deserve that. And I know you're going to find it one day. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm not going to lie. I was a little fucked up for a little bit, because I was like, he didn't even try to fight. There was no, oh, well, maybe one more time for old time's sake. Nothing like that. Not even that. It was just, damn, okay. Well, he must have hoes all around LA. Funnily enough, we're coming towards the end of Mercury retrograde when I'm filming this. Retrograde ends on Monday, October 18th. I'm filming this on Friday, October 15th. And earlier this week, I got the random idea to check his page. Which, again, it's retrograde, which means everything from the past is going to come up. So I'm not surprised that I went and did this. So I checked out his page and I watched his Instagram stories. Now, I knew when we were messing around and when I met him, he has a daughter. There was a whole new baby in his Instagram stories, and the caption was "my girls." So I'm like, okay, this could be a cousin or something, but she looks damn near like his other daughter. So this kind of confirmed my suspicion that I wasn't just a side piece because this dude's a hoe. Like he was probably cheating on somebody with me. Because the 2 times he came over, after we were done having our fun, he was like, I need to take a shower. So I'm like, okay, not everybody likes the smell of sex to linger on them. It's either that or he doesn't want somebody to smell what he's been doing today. So I was like, and the new baby does look to be about 6 to 8 months old. So I'm like, so you had somebody pregnant while we were okay. Also, guess who started following me on IG again? Yep. Don't y'all worry. He can watch, he can see what there is to see. The thing about it though, I'm not mad about what happened. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at myself. I honestly think it had to happen in order to reinforce to me that I truly do want a relationship if I'm going to be having sex with somebody. So, and that's valuable, because why hurt myself? Why keep doing this thing as good as it feels, knowing that I want something else? Why would I allow myself to continue to be unsatisfied? But I learned a lot through that. I learned that your girl is capable of pulling somebody that she's actually attracted to. Not that I've never been attracted to anybody that I've dated prior, but I'm the type of person, and I said this in my dating advice that I'm no longer listening to video, where a lot of times people will tell you, well, date outside your type, date somebody that you wouldn't normally go after because your person could be somebody that you never pay attention to. And I've done that. I've given so many people that I normally wouldn't give a second glance to a chance because I don't want to miss my miracle. And here I am looking at 40. I'll be 40 in less than 6 months, single. So it's like, well, hell, if I'm going to be single, I might as well wait for what I want. But like I said, this guy was one of the hottest guys I've ever been with. And I'm like, I can pull that. Okay. Also it reinforced that gym bros love thick women. Thick 2 C's. I've seen it on like TikTok and YouTube, like full figure black women talking about all these dudes that spend half their days in the gym, in their DMs, talking about what they want to do to them. And I'm like, okay, either they're lying or there must be some truth to this. And I will qualify with some gym bros love them some thick women. Let's not generalize. I don't need y'all in my comments. Also, it helped me reaffirm that my body, the size and shape of my body, is not a barrier to love. The size and shape of my body is not what's keeping me from meeting my person. It took a long time, especially after being cheated on. I had those thoughts of, well, if I was thinner, if my hair was longer, if I looked like this, he wouldn't have cheated. And then you have to sit back and be like, no, Beyonce was cheated on. Jennifer Lopez was cheated on. All these women who are considered the most beautiful women on earth have been cheated on. That has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with me. That was his weakness, whatever he was going through. And I no longer have to deal with it because I walked away. But it took a long time for the message of the size and shape of your body is not what caused this to move from my head to my heart. I make a joke, especially when these ridiculous men, and I will get more into them as this video goes on. There's so many men who are like, try to tell you what your body needs to look like in order to attract a man. And one of my favorite things to do is watch A&E. I loved the show Intervention. Your girl watches Hoarders. And then there's My 600-Pound Life. Child, I rarely see a nearly 600-pound woman without a partner. So this is not, please. It feels like, I don't want to say validation because that feels wrong, because there are people who will get all up on whatever app they have downloaded on their phones and say, like, we don't even have to like you in order to sleep with you. This dude liked me. I have the confirmation. So I'm glad that I've taken the time to be single, because especially with what's gone on these last 2 years, oh my God. I also had to get to a place of balance where it's like, yes, I love my life as a single woman, but it's also okay to want to be in a romantic relationship, to have a romantic partner. Do I want a relationship? Yes. I would love to meet my person. I would love to be having sex regularly. I would love to have somebody to look forward to talking to. I would love to get excited about somebody, like, oh, my boo is coming over, we're gonna do these things. I would love to have a 2-year. I have never celebrated a 2-year anniversary with somebody. I would love to know what it would feel like to be with somebody consistently for 2 years. Like, I tell people my longest relationship was 4 years, but we were off and on. Like, we would be together for a year, then break up. Then we'd be together for a year and 3 months and then break up. Like, it was crazy. So to be with somebody consistently with no breaks for 2 years, I don't know her. I would love to know what that feels like. But it's not my entire personality. I know that sounds judgy, but it's like, there is so much more to life. I say that because I've been that person. I've been that person where it's like, well, life isn't worth living. Things aren't worth doing. Places aren't worth seeing if I don't have another person to see, do, eat with. You know what I'm saying? I can't see waiting for my life to start, putting my life on hold until I meet somebody. I can't do that. I can't live like that. You know, so it's really about living my best life now. Living now, because now is really all we have. And I don't feel that waiting for somebody to come along to make it acceptable to do those things in the eyes of other people, because a lot of the reason people feel scared of being single has nothing to do with loneliness. A lot of times when people feel bad about being single, it's because they're afraid of how they're perceived by the outside world. So many people think if you're not married, if you don't have kids, which is a whole nother topic, that you can't be happy, that you are not happy. When you say you're happy, that you're fulfilled, that you're living a great life, they think you're lying. Because a woman can only truly be happy if she's a wife, if she's a mother. No. As much as I want those things for me, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I will live a full, successful, adventurous life, with or without a husband, with or without children. I'm not afraid of what people in my family are gonna think. I'm pretty sure there are people in my family who assume I'm gay because I'm not married and don't have kids. I'm sure there are people who, case in point, my brother, if you follow me on social media, you already know this. Last Christmas, my brother told me that he was afraid that I would be single when I'm 40. Single and broke when I'm 40, or when I'm 50. He told me that he was afraid that I was gonna be single and broke when I'm 50. And he's like, and there's no way I won't be able to help you. Broke? Never. I know how to make money. Our mother showed me how to make money. Everybody always needs an administrative assistant. I have that job in the bag. I will never be broke. Single, however, there's a huge possibility that I could be looking at 50. You know, I could be right here in 10 years looking at, 6 months away from 50, like, damn, I'm still not married and I never have kids. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say I won't feel a way, because here in the House of Stark, we keep it 100. there are times where I do feel those stings. Like, I have friends who've recently gotten married. I have friends who have recently announced pregnancies or the births of their children. And I'm like, hey, God, it's me again. Did you forget about me? Like, what's tea? When is my turn? Did you lose my number? Do I have to take another one and go to the back of the line? Like, did I step out and then I have to, what happened? I do have those feelings. To say that if I said that I didn't have those feelings, I'd be lying. And I don't lie to y'all. But again, I don't make it my entire life. That's not what I think about day to day. It's not something that I wake up and go to bed thinking about. I think the one thing that has gotten me to loving it here, loving being single at almost 40, is that I am finally, it took 3.5 years, but I am finally 100% over my ex and how my last relationship ended. I thought I was over it, but I noticed that there was still some portion of the relationship that I was holding on to. Even though I have not spoken to my ex in years. I want to say 2 years. I haven't spoken to him since right before I moved to California. But I was still talking to his best friend. His best friend presented himself as a better man. He was, he presented himself as a feminist ally. He would, speak out when somebody would come at me wrong, and I would swoon. I'd be like, you're such a good man. Oh my God, I'm so thankful to have you in my life. And I'm so thankful that you've done all this work and you've dismantled the patriarchy in your mind and this, that, and the third. And then out of nowhere, we're talking and I forgot what I had said, but he said something like, just remember, you have to put in the work too. What? He was like, great relationships are built, not made. You post about how your next man better act and what he needs to do. Don't forget that, you're part of the equation too. And I'm sitting here like, wait, you were in my life the entirety of my last relationship. You saw me go through it with your best friend. You saw what your best friend did to me. You saw the work that I put into that relationship, and I'm the one that needs to be reminded to put in the work? Are you serious? And my theory is because I didn't lap it up like I usually do, because I wasn't applauding him the way I usually did, he bristled and was like, why are you lashing out at me? You need to calm down. You're treating me the way you treated him, and that's not fair. You need to get over him. And I was like, first of all, that breakup was traumatic, considering that it happened 2 months after my mother died. Yeah, there's still, I need to get over it. I let him know. I let him have it, both barrels. And at the end, he apologized, but then he was like, he negated it. Because he said, I'm not the only one that should be apologizing. And that was the last time I talked to him. And I want to say that was towards the end of June. And it's only been recently where I've been like, I don't think about this person, my ex. When I hear songs from the time we were together, I don't feel anything. Or I remember the memories that I had before he came into my life that are associated with that song. When people bring him up, or if I bring him up in conversation to highlight something that's happened as far as being cheated on or whatever, I feel neutral. So I really think that letting go of his best friend and ceasing communication with him was the final piece. And that's what needed to happen in order for me to there's always going to be healing work that needs to be done, because that still is a very deep wound. But as far as being triggered every time I hear his name, when somebody talks about cheating, there's not a violent internal response. I don't feel the intense need to cuss him out when I talk about it. It's something that happened to me. It's part of my story, so I am gonna talk about it. I don't talk about it anywhere near as much as I used to. I feel so much more at peace. The way that I think about my breakup now is, if you have seen Marvel's show What If on Disney Plus, you'll get it. Spoilers if you've not seen it before. If you've not seen the particular episode that I'm getting ready to reference. One of the darkest episodes on What If is the Doctor Strange episode. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? And in that episode, he's continually trying to change the outcome of his life. He's trying to stop his love, Christine, from dying. And the Ancient One shows up. She's like, listen, this has to happen. It's a fixed point in time. When she dies, your heartbreak leads you to the mystic arts, and that's how you become the Sorcerer Supreme. If she doesn't die, then that never happens. And that's how I think about the breakup. Like, anybody that knows me, if I talk about the breakup with you, I will tell you that this is where I should have ended it. There are at least 4 spots in the entire 14 months of our relationship. There are 4 times where I should have cut it off, where I would have been spared the heartbreak of being cheated on. But I consider that a fixed point in time, because that made me who I am now. The last 2 years have made me the woman who is sitting here making this video. And I gotta tell you, I love who I am now. Like, I just realized it yesterday, where it's like, I am a completely different person than I was when I moved to New York, when I moved to California. I'm not the same person I was last year. So it's constantly relearning who I am and who I want to be, who I'm growing to be, and falling in love with that new person. It's a marvelous, terrifying, but rewarding process. And I'm all the way here for it. And I've never taken this time to truly do the work of becoming who I know I'm supposed to be. Because I was either looking for my next partner, or the last time I was single for this amount of time, I was trying to be super single girl, where I was like, I don't need no man. I'm out here living my best life, like acting like I was celebrating single-versaries. I honestly thought that I had to be this person to prove that you could be single and happy at my age. And I realized that I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I can just be me and be happy. One of the messages I've gotten consistently over the last 2 years is, you serve yourself and others best by simply being yourself. You will find the most success when you are your authentic self. And learning who I am authentically, being who I am authentically and unapologetically, whew, I'll say it again, I love it here. And I don't think that, don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that me finding somebody will change that. I am still here to do the work, because another person can't come in and do that for me. It's something that I have to go through. And I'm actually going a little bit off script here, but I feel that this is important for somebody to hear. I actually wanted to make a video about this, but I might still, but I'll give you a little taste of what I'm thinking right now. I know people think that when people say you need to love yourself before you can love someone else, people are like, I don't love myself, but I still deserve love. Yes, you do. But that's not what we're talking about when we say things to you. See, when you love yourself, when you know how to give yourself joy, when you know how to soothe yourself, when you know how to pleasure yourself in any context you want to take that in, when you know how to give yourself what you need, want, and crave, you become less susceptible to manipulation. You become less likely to be deceived. You become less likely to be taken advantage of. You are less likely to put up with bullshit. You are less likely to settle. And that's what I'm on. I'm not settling. Because in all honesty, like, If I wanted to catch a dick, I've already proven that I can. But because I want the whole buffet instead of a chicken nugget, I'ma wait. I'ma wait. And the journey that I've gone through while waiting has only made me a better woman. So whomever I do end up with, they about to be blessed because they are going to get the best version of me. The self-assured, the version of me that is not going to suck up their entire life and become a carbon copy of them, because I know who I am as a person and I am able to stand alone as my own person. One of the reasons I actually like being single right now, because there is a lot of stress. There is a lot of stress associated with dating, especially in this economy. And baby, the thought, even after nearly 4 years of being single, the thought of dating absolutely exhausts me. Like, I don't know how y'all do it. I honestly don't. I don't, the idea of meeting different people and going to new places and discovering new restaurants with some other people, that does sound fun to me, but going into it knowing that it's a date, knowing that I'm hoping this person is attracted to me and I'm attracted to this person, hoping that we vibe, going through the, talking stage, being ghosted, having to start all over again in a couple of weeks because somebody that you were attracted to decided to either tell you you weren't it or just completely cut off like that. The roller coaster, the up and down, no. I've got better things to do with my time, energy, and attention. I'm not doing that. I refuse to use dating apps. One, because there are too many horror stories. If you're on TikTok, I know you've heard about the woman who was like, I paid for 100 tacos. This man's father asked me if I wanted to see his studio. I collected the tacos and then peaced out. And then I know you've heard about the radio DJ in Dallas, Texas, whose guy stood her up, then called to tell her that his father was in the hospital, then called again saying that he lied about it, then left her 7 or 8 other voicemails getting upset about her not calling him back. I'm like, I don't need that stress in my life. No. I'm good. At this point, and this is what I tell people, at this point, I have been trying to get wifed up and then knocked up since I was 16. I always said I wanted to be a wife before I was a mother. I'm tired. Like I said, I'm 39. I've been on that hamster wheel for so long. And honestly, taking the time to just focus on me and refusing to go that route, I think has been rewarding because there's no desperation on my part. I have seen people put up with the most unpermissible, the most disgusting bullshit just to say that they have somebody. And another thing why I choose not to date right now is because a lot of y'all, guys, gals, non-binary pals, will go on social media because there's a disconnect. People say that social media isn't real. However, things that happen on social media, especially the last couple of years, have shown to have real life consequences. There are people who go on social media and they just let it all hang out. And I don't even mean literally. They will tell you straight up exactly what's on their mind. And you're like, these are the thoughts you have in your head daily. Like, there are men who will go on social media. I quote tweeted it. Dude was like, I love pussy, but I hate women. We know. My wife asked me for flowers. I'm never buying her flowers. Okay, you're the same person who 2 weeks ago was asking women what they want in relationships. You're in a relationship, your wife is telling you this is what I want, and you're like, I'm not gonna do that. Why are you married? Like, it boggles the mind. Y'all out here telling the truth. I don't want to deal with that. I I'd rather just stay to myself and live my best life. Because, baby, the thing I believe with my whole heart is that if love is meant for me, it's going to have to find me. Because, like I said, I've been searching since I was 16 and I'm tired. Okay, I'm letting the universe take over on this one. Because I don't see the point in stressing myself out dealing with. And then, okay, another thing, dealing with, and this might be younger men. I actually don't know if older men feel like this. They might. I don't want to make a general assumption, but I've seen a lot of men on social media who think that because they pay for a meal, they're entitled ass. Like, there was this one guy who posted a picture of his receipt from dinner. He was like, I dropped this. It was like $150. He's like, I dropped this on dinner. She's at least going to give me head. And I quote tweeted it. I was like, see, if I ever date again, I'm making sure that every date until we become a couple, official couple, like we have titles, I go Dutch, because I refuse to let somebody think that they're entitled to my body just because they paid for a meal. And this one dude was like, is that why you're single now? And before I blocked him, I was like, no, I'm single because I want to be. Like, why would I equate my wanting to take care of myself and keep myself safe? Why would I think that's a bad thing? And I also want to talk about something. This is another reason why I love being where I'm at as a person, as a woman, because when you love yourself, and this is what I meant to say earlier, you're more likely to recognize and call out bullshit. You are less susceptible to just like you will not, like, when you love yourself, you will no longer be the bull that sees a red flag and charges at it. Like, you're red means stop, let me go the other way. You're more likely to do that when you are confident and sure of yourself, when the desperation has been removed. Because I was on Facebook and I saw a friend share his thoughts. He said, people need to take accountability and just choose better. You knew this person was screwed up when you got with them, so, you put up with it, all this stuff. And I was like, no, that's not always the case. There are people in this world who prey on other people. There are guys, gals, and non-binary pals who will present themselves as the perfect partner. See, I saw something on Twitter where somebody was like, when somebody asks you what you're looking for, don't answer them, because they will pretend to be exactly what you're looking for. And I've seen it happen. It's happened to me and it's happened to my friends. People will present themselves as your perfect partner, the one you've been waiting for. And they will wait until they are sure that you're in love with them. And then they'll show their true colors. See, there's this thing called love bombing. And then, without warning, they will retract all that time, energy, love, and affection they've been giving you. And you end up shell-shocked. You're like, wait, what changed? What happened? We didn't have a fight. Why are you not answering my texts? Why are you not making plans with me? Why are we not having sex as regularly? What's going on? And then you're sitting there trying desperately to get back to where you were at the beginning of the relationship. You know that this person loves you because they proved it in the beginning. So you're less likely to leave. That is a form of manipulation. And it happens. Not everybody presents their true self when they first meet you. So yes, while you do have to be aware and on the lookout, and while you must be mindful, yes, I agree with that. But the onus isn't always on the person who is manipulated. It's on the manipulator. Because there are games that are played, there's gaslighting that happens. I just wanted to put that out there in case, yes, it is very true. When people show you who they are, believe them. But there are people who will play in your face. There are people who will be fake to you and will do whatever they can to get whatever they want out of you. That's why love scammers are a thing. Oh Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I plan on making a whole series on my channel about these love scammers that come into my Instagram DMs. Oh, I have them saved, baby. I plan to do a whole series where I read you some of these conversations because it's hilarious. Because sadly enough, there are people who are so desperate to be in love that they believe that somebody in another country, somebody that they've never FaceTimed with, somebody that they've never hugged and kissed and touched, is in love with them. And they're willing to send this person thousands, tens of thousands, in some cases, I've watched Dr. Phil, hundreds of thousands of dollars, their whole life savings, and they don't even realize they're being scammed. That's what taking the time to be by yourself does. Actually taking the time to learn about yourself, to heal yourself, to do the work on yourself, whether that be getting your finances right, getting to where you want to be in your career, getting your fitness together, doing all of that work for yourself and gaining that confidence for yourself makes anything that comes along after that just that much sweeter. And I believe that in my whole heart. I just know that for me, this is not the time for me to look for love. My assignment now is to work on me to make sure that I'm living my best life. And like I said, if love is meant for me, it will find me. Do I eventually want to meet my person and get married? 100%. I truly do. You know, joke about my man's Chris Evans. I know I'm not the only woman in this world who's in love with that man. I truly believe I'll meet him eventually. When I'm in a place where I'm not going to fangirl over him. When I'm in a place, I think, where I can treat him like a human being, then I think the universe will bring us together. But even if it's not him, I do believe that there is somebody, several people, there are 7 billion people on this planet. I don't believe there is just one for everybody. I do believe that there are tons of people that I'm compatible with. And when the time is right, I believe the universe will bring us together. But if not, I will still have a good ass life. That's what I believe. But I do want that for myself. You know, I know that it'll be harder for me to try to conceive the longer it takes, you know, because like I said, in April, I'll be 40. So hopefully I meet a man with money to pay for IVF because that is not cheap. But I'm not living from that place, and I hope I've illustrated that. I'm not living from a place of, but when my life can't begin until I meet my person. No, we're out here living life. We're out here doing what we need to do. And I don't want you to think that I think that people who are actively looking for love, I don't want you to think I'm judging them. I don't think you're stupid. I'm not here to insult you. I'm just saying, for me, in my house, we're gonna do us, and we're gonna see where the universe takes us. That's literally been my journey for the last few months, is just going with the flow. Stop trying to control every aspect of what happens in my life. Just going with the flow, letting things come as they may, and trying to react appropriately to those situations. Letting myself cry when I need to cry, but getting back up when I need to get back up. And it's been terrifying, but I love who I am because of it. And I still have hope. I feel that a lot of things are going to change for me in the next year. And if any of my accounts go private, that means I'm dating one of my faves. But that is where I'm going to end this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a long one. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. All of those good things. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok at Taylani Stark. I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you for spending a little time with your girl Tay. Bye.